Hey you guys, it's Shannon Rose, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about my divorce, all about my divorce, and how I cheated on my husband. Also, for those of you guys that don't know, my second book is out finally. It's been 5 years. I know you guys have been wanting it, so it's here, and I hope that you guys enjoy it. The second book is all about my past in porn, just like crazy things that have happened to me in the porn industry, what it was like being in that industry, about me escorting for like celebrities and politicians, because all those people want, like all the celebrities want to hire porn stars. I don't know why, but they do, to like escort for them. And so I talk about that. I also talk about a lot of things that I never talked about before that I was like really ashamed of. All about my abortion experience. That video's gone up if you haven't watched that. All about how I was married before Travis. That video is also up if you guys want to watch that. Again, all these stories are on my book in case you are not able to afford the book for whatever reason, or you don't want to buy it. I am telling some stories out of the book here, but again, there's way more in the book if you want to read it, a lot more details and pictures and stuff like that. I'll leave the link down below for the second book if you guys want to get it. I like make a joke, like hopefully now that the book is published, I don't get thrown in jail or like shunned from society because I talk about so many things that I feel like could get me in trouble, or, you know, that people would like not like me for, but it's my story, so I'm putting it out there. All right, let's get into the story about how I cheated and how I, like, all about my divorce. So, as you guys know, if you watched my video that I was married before Travis, hopefully you guys don't think that I cheated on Travis and that I'm getting a divorce from Travis, my current husband. No, we're still married. This is my first husband, and a lot of people don't know that we were married. If you want to hear all about that, like I said, it's in that other video. But I ended up getting pregnant, got an abortion, and if you watch my abortion experience video, it would kind of make sense. You kind of have to watch these 3 videos in a row to kind of know the full story, and it would make more sense like this video. So if you haven't watched those, maybe go back, just pause this video, go back, watch the other videos. The first one is I was married before Travis, and then the second one is all about my abortion experience, or my abortion experience, and then watch this one because it'll just make sense. Once I ended up getting the abortion, I was still with my husband, and I was just really unhappy, and I still just like could not forgive him for the fact that I no longer, I literally fell out of love with him once he was like, yeah, you need to get an abortion. I just didn't know how I was still gonna stay with him. I still loved him, but I was no longer in love with him. And I felt like I would never be able to forgive him. And I like tried to let time go by to see like if that feeling would pass and I would like fall back in love with him and like be able to forgive him. And I just couldn't. And I still to this day like could never really forgive him for that. So I needed a way to like get out of that relationship and get a divorce. And I didn't really know how, because he didn't cheat on me, and he was still like a good person, even though when he was drinking, he like did a lot of really things to me and was not a good person. When he was sober, like he was amazing. It's a person I fell in love with. And so it's really hard to just leave somebody like that, even after, you know, telling me to get an abortion when I got pregnant and we were married, you know, like, I mean, in his defense, we were younger and maybe he wasn't ready for a kid, but I was. Like I said, I couldn't forgive him, and I kept trying to find ways to like kind of break up with him because I didn't want to be with him anymore, but I felt like trapped because we were married, you know, and we were planning a wedding, and he was getting ready to go on deployment, and so I really didn't want to do anything when they're like at war, you know what I mean? Like it's just like awful to do something like that. And I know that sounds really bad, but like I feel like once he did go on deployment, I wanted to cheat on him because I knew that that was the only way that was gonna make like cut our ties, you know? Like if I cheated on him, I knew that he wouldn't want to be with me anymore and that we would end up probably getting divorced. And I knew that that was like a deal breaker for him, even though the abortion was like the deal breaker for me. I just didn't know how to like say I want a divorce after that. It was hard for me to do that because I don't know, I guess I just defended like the fact that he wasn't ready to have a baby for him, you know? So I was hanging out with his like best friend's girlfriend and his sister. And we were all like partying, and we went to like some firefighter's house, and he had like a bunch of firefighter friends over, and I got really drunk, and I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it tonight. I'm just gonna like have meaningless sex with someone so that I can get divorced. And I'm gonna make sure that like his sister and his best friend's girlfriend know that I did it. Like, it was so obvious that I was cheating on him and doing it in front of like his sister, who I was like friends with, you know, like it was really whole really up situation. And I knew, like, I didn't really want to tell him that I cheated on him, like why he was on deployment, because that can really fuck up like a soldier's like mentality when they're out there in that like situation. But I was so like traumatized and fucked up from like getting the abortion that I was like, it's not fair. And like I said, I was immature and young and not making good choices. But I was like, you fucked me up and I'm gonna be fucked up forever. Now I'm gonna fuck you up. And so I cheated on him, and then ended up telling him like why he was on deployment, that I cheated on him, which is really fucked up, and I don't recommend anybody do that. But that was my like way of retaliating against him, and I feel guilty for that now, because I feel like that was just like a really poor way of doing it. I didn't have to cheat on him. I didn't have to like tell him that. I could have just said, you know, I am no longer in love with you, and I don't want to be with you anymore. And I could have ended the relationship in a civilized manner. But when I was like young and drinking, I did nothing in a civilized manner, and I kind of wish I did that differently now looking back. But you know, when we're young, we make stupid mistakes and do dumb things, and that was one of the dumb things that I did, and I feel bad about. And I probably broke his heart, but you know, he broke mine in like a really fucked up way that like literally will f me up forever. I don't think he was like bothered by the abortion. I don't think that like today he's thinking, oh, I feel bad about that, you know. Like, I think he was probably really hurt, and I broke his heart probably. But I think like he probably got over it after a year or two and moved on, and now he doesn't think about that anymore. But I will always have that I got that abortion. That will stay with me forever. I knew, and something inside me like knew, that if for some reason I didn't like actually cheat on him and just said that I did, that like, I don't know, something inside me that would have been like, I just lied, like I didn't really do it. And I don't know, there was something about it that made me feel like I would go back to him maybe. And so that's like why I cheated on him. I hope that makes sense. I know it's like, maybe it sounds really and like doesn't make any sense to most people, but in my mind, to me, like it made sense. I knew there was no going back after that, you know, especially doing it in front of like people that would be like, dude, your wife cheated on you while you're on deployment. Like, that's some, you know, you just don't do that. Like, you don't do that. And I did. Like, I did things in my life that I'm putting out there for everybody to criticize and hate me for, but it's my truth, and I'm just being honest. So anyway, that is kind of like how that all happened. So we didn't talk anymore after that. So he was on deployment, didn't talk to me after that for like a very long time. That was his second deployment he went on too. When we were together, he had 2 deployments. So we also had an engagement party. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. That should have been my last video, but I just am remembering it now. After he was back from deployment and like I think he was out of the Marine Corps, we needed to get a divorce. And so like I said, we didn't talk after that, but then he like called me one day and he's like, we need to get a divorce, like legally. And I was like, yeah, okay. So we met at the courthouse and went and signed papers, and just like, it was like a civil thing. I forget like what the term for it is, but I like gave him his ring back and everything, and we ended up going to the courthouse, signing the divorce papers. And then after we left the courthouse, I haven't talked to him since. I have no idea like what he's doing in his life. I don't know if he's married or has kids or anything. So crazy, right? So I cheated. I am a cheater, even though like I would never cheat on someone I love, you know, and that I'm in love with. Like, you have to do some to get me to want to cheat on you. I am loyal as fuck. So I hope that in this video you see like, oh yeah, Shannon's a cheater. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Like, not always. Sometimes you cheat for like reasons like I did. but I'm like the most loyal person when it comes to like friends, family, and like people in my, like that I'm in a relationship with, or like my kid, my husband. Like I'm loyal to a fault. But if you f me over, watch out, because I will come back tenfold. I hope that you guys enjoyed this story time. Hopefully you know a little bit more about me now, and let me know if you have any questions or if you have any other video ideas you want me to film for you guys. Don't forget to get my second book if you haven't already. Again, I'll leave a link down below in the description box. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'm sending you all my love and all my positive energy, and I hope to see you in the next video. Mwah!